had a child before I got married. Right? Wrong? Enjoy the video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lady T here. If this is your first time stopping by, what up? And if you haven't subscribed, please click on the like. Please click on the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with what I talk about, what I get up to, and hopefully you will enjoy it or it will be impactful to you. Okay, so this video, I had a child before I got married. Some people will be like, you did? A Proverbs 31 woman? Is that allowed? Okay, so let me explain it. Let me put it into its context. In 2005, I met my husband, and let me stop calling him my husband. He is my husband and all, but like, there's gonna be many more videos coming and I can't keep referring him to my husband. So his name's Tokes, yeah? So guys, meet Tokes somewhere. Tokes. So 2005, I met Tokes. How we met, we don't need to go into that. Maybe another video will come out about that, but we don't need to go into that. But yeah, so I met him 2005, you know, the usual thing. Now, back in my day, and I ain't that old, when you meet a guy, you do start to think, is he marriage potential? Because you get to that point in your age that, you know, I've done all the clubbing, I've done all the hanging out, I've done all the dates and all that stuff. But it gets to the point that you want to eventually start settling down. So when potentials come your way, you do start thinking, is he marriage material? You do think it, don't lie. You know you do, you do. So anyway, yeah, met him, and that thought crossed my mind thinking, he's a cool guy, potentially marriage material. So when I was on that wavelength of thinking that he was marriage material, my next thoughts were that I might every now and then drop the name into family conversations and stuff just to like plant the seed and all that. But anyway, so we got talking when we met, and probably in conversation 1 or 2, or no more than 3, Toke said, oh, I just need to let you know, I've got a son. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Now in my head, I just thought, scrap it. Stop the chatting, stop the getting to know. My mum's not gonna like it, my dad's not gonna like it. Baby mama dramas, just end it. That was what I genuinely thought. So I finished that conversation with him. Then I decided to go and speak to my mum and tell her. Because in my head I thought, if I had my mum on my side regarding his son, that would be easier when we were to tell my dad. Because my mum would be like, hey, yes, Papa wrote to me, yes, I know about it, it's okay, it's okay. But that's only if my mum was in agreement. And I wasn't sure, because, you know, when you're younger, you paint the pretty picture of meeting that guy, getting married and all those stuff, but my pretty picture didn't feature the stepson in the picture. That's the truth. So anyway, went to my mum in her room. I said, Mum, I've been talking to this guy, and he's just told me he's got a son. And in my head I was thinking, oh my God, it's gonna explode. She's gonna shut it down, she's gonna say no. And my mum simply looked at me and went, is he not entitled to love? So? And I was like, oh, okay. In my head I was thinking, that's not the reaction I thought she was gonna give me. And then she went on furthermore to say, so long as you know the story or the history or, you know, the whereabouts of the child and the background and you're comfortable with it, basically there's no drama. My mum was like, no problem. What? He's human. It happens. My mum she can be quite real. So that gave me a bit of comfort, because as much as I want my parents' consent back then in what I was doing, I'm not saying that I would have changed my mind if my mum said no, but I would have had to have thought about it, because no child wants to make their parents unhappy, but at the same time, I've got to be happy. But anyway, it helped that my mum was pro it and just said that I should know the ins and outs and make sure I was comfortable with it. And in fairness to Tokes, he had told me the ins and outs. He's got a son, he's based in Nigeria with his mum and whatnot. So when he told me that he was based in Nigeria with his mum, in my head I was thinking, yes, he's not really in the picture. That was my thoughts. You know, he's in Nigeria, ain't really my business, you know, do your thing with your son. Because my mindset wasn't ready to have a child. But anyway, so he told me he's in Nigeria, cool. We didn't really build much of a communication from me with Tariq in the beginning of us getting to know. We were just getting to know each other, so that wasn't necessarily needed. And he was in Nigeria and all, so wasn't needed. Anyway, our relationship progressed. I got married. Ooh, cool. In 2008, I got married. And then Tokes, as the years went on, probably about 5 years to be exact, Tokes was like, I'd like Tariq to come over for a holiday. And I was thinking, okay, this is different now. I've known him since 2005. We got married 3 years later in 2008. Now it's 2013. So in total, that's 8 years not really having much to do with Tariq, because that's his side. And now you want him to come on a holiday. Right, that's gonna make a change. But I was like, yeah, cool, bring him over. He's my husband, he's my husband's child, I'm gonna receive him. But I was pretty nervous as to this child coming into my life or seeing me and my life. Bearing in mind, by 2013, I'd already had my 2 boys. I'd had Michael and Malachi by 2013. So we knew that he was coming. Michael was about 6 years old and Malachi was merely about 1. In fact, he was coming for Malachi's first birthday. So we had told Michael, oh, your big brother's coming from Nigeria. And he was 6. I was like, okay, mommy, cool, yeah, big brother. He doesn't really know much, does he, at that point? But what Michael did was he would go to school and tell his teachers, my big brother's coming, my big brother. So one day I had the teachers, when I went to go and pick him up, like, Mum, can we have a word? I was like, yeah, what's the matter? So Michael keeps talking about his big brother, that he's got a big brother, and we keep trying to explain to him that he hasn't, and he's getting confused, and it's just Malachi, his baby brother. And I went, no, my son knows what he's talking about. He has got a big brother. He's got a big brother called Tariq, and he's based in Nigeria. And they were like, oh, I see. I said, yeah, Tariq is my stepson. And they were like, oh, okay. Now, the reason why it appeared to be a shock to them is because when we spoke to Michael about his brother coming from Nigeria, I had never used the word step. So Michael knew his brother was coming from Nigeria. I never used the word step to Michael nor Malachi, even though he was just a toddler. Because for me, and this is my own personal view, I find the word step to be a divide, like a them and an us. And once I had decided to accept that my husband had a son, I was not going to take the step part of it, because his son was going to be my son and be part of my family. So my boys, and up until today, my boys are now 8 and 11. They do not call Tariq stepbrother. They do not refer to him outside as stepbrother. He is their brother. Case closed. One family. That was my personal choice. That was how I wanted to mentally accept him into my life. So anyway, 2013, early summer comes, Tariq comes over. Here, Tokes goes and picks him up. I'm waiting at home. Tariq gets here. I'm quite nervous. So he comes in, and I think Tariq was 2013, was 7 years ago. Tariq is, he was about 13, yeah, 13, 14. Oh, he was that age, isn't it? So I thought, oh God, I'm gonna get this little attitudinal boy come into my home. But I remember so clearly, they parked up, we opened the door, I was in the kitchen, and he ran straight into the kitchen and gave me the biggest hug. Now today, Tariq would deny that. He was like, no, I didn't do that. You know, big man things, whatever. But he ran straight into the kitchen and gave me the biggest hug, like he knew me. And I received it. And that was step one of making me feel, okay, this is gonna be okay. But the next step was, what was he gonna call me? Like, I weren't his mum. I wasn't his auntie because I was married to his dad, so I'm not his auntie. But at the same time, he couldn't call me Tayo because in our culture, you don't go around calling anybody by their first name. It's auntie, mommy, daddy, brother, sister, all that, not your first name. So I thought, you know what, let me take Tariq out. So I said, Tariq, come, let's go for a quick drive. I think I was going to pick up his brother from nursery or something. I said, so Tariq, you're here now. What are you gonna call me? And then he went, I don't know. He's gonna hate that I did that accent, but Tariq had a proper accent, proper. I said, what are we gonna call me? And he went, I don't know. I said, you decide. And I wanted Tariq to be part of the process of deciding to name me so that he felt comfortable with it. So I went, well, Tariq, I'm not your mom and I'm not your auntie, but my name is Tayo. Then he went, why don't we call you Mommy Tayo? And I went, oh God, Tariq, no. Mommy Tayo makes me sound like old. And I said, Tariq, you know, I'm still young, I'm still happening, I'm still cool. We laughed it off. And I went, T. Why don't we call me Mommy T? And then he went, yes, Mommy T. And that's how my name, Mommy T, was birthed. In the car with my son, Tariq, we agreed that I would be called Mommy T. So if you sometimes see in comments that people refer to me as Mommy T, that's the story of why I'm called Mommy T. Until today, I'm still Mommy T to many people. So anyway, he was here, that broke the ice. We had Malachi's first birthday. And bearing in mind at this point, we hadn't really, let me just say, we just hadn't made a big announcement to the world that, you know, Tariq was coming. Just because my husband's a very private person, not for any other reason. But on that day, when we now, obviously my mom knew, my dad, my siblings, the nearest and dearest knew. But it was quite funny, I felt, that when we came out to do the traditional take the picture next to the cake kind of thing, you had mommy, daddy, Michael, the birthday boy Malachi, and then this other boy, which was Tariq. And then so you could see some people looking like, very nosy people. And then, you know, days after, a few weeks after, oh, that boy that took the picture with you guys, yes, he's my son, yes. But in that situation, because we had lots of family and friends there, I would had to have said my stepson, Tokes' son, because a lot of people there knew me and they knew when I had those two children, so I couldn't say otherwise. But on the outside world, when people see or saw me with Tariq and they say, oh, who's that? I'd say, that's my son. And people would look at me and say, oh my God, you no way look old enough to have a 14-year-old or 15 or whatever age they see him at, because I still get it today. In fact, today is probably worse. When Tariq and I go out, the few times he lets me take him out or us go out, people look at me like, look at her with her toy boy, not knowing that this kid is my son. And then what I would usually do is I'd beg him, Tariq, call me mom. Tariq, call me mommy. Call me Mommy T. Call me Mommy T. I'll beg him to call me Mommy T so that people can react. And he'd be like, oh, Mommy T, no. I said, just call me the name so that they can, you know, react and see. And then he would be like, oh, Mommy T, can you pass me that thing? And then people would be like, and then they'll quickly look away. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. You judged. You looked at me and that boy and assumed he was my toy boy or whatever you call it. And really, he's my son. And you judged. How quick are we to judge things without even knowing the true situation? I still see it to today and I find it so funny. But it ain't good to judge. So anyway, so that was it. We had our party. People asked the questions. Those that needed to know him as Step, they did. But the majority of people that I tell, and there's going to be a lot of people watching this now that would never have known that he is my stepson, because I've never said it. I don't see it that I lied to you. I don't see it that I lied to anybody. I just personally see it as I made that choice to not identify him as my stepson. He's my son. So anyway, that was the party 2013. He went back to Nigeria, back to his school and all that. Then come about 2014, middle week of the year, Toke says, T, I want Tarek to come and live with us. I'm like, okay. So we came for the party. Awesome. Now he's coming to live. That was gonna be a totally different ball game. But you know what? It was something that my husband wanted. It was something pressing on his heart that he wanted Tarek to come and live here and continue his education here. And being a supportive wife, I agreed. Don't get me wrong, I had my own nervousness about it, and that was just to do with me and being able to adapt to having, and by then he was going to be 14, you know, a teenager in my home, and now bringing him up as my own. He was already used to knowing that I existed, but he had his mum, but he was now going to have to come and readjust and have this new mum. So it was going to be a different environment for both of us. But my husband wanted it. I respected my husband's decision. We did everything we had to do. And within 4 to 6 months, December 2014, Tarek came to live. And then I officially had 3 boys as my sons. And that's the story of how I had a child before I got married. People out there may judge what your picture looks like, but should we care for what people think? Or just be more bothered about what we know and what we are doing? I think that's the most important thing. I love having Tarek as one of my boys. Now I don't think I could have my home any other way, apart from the fact that now man's almost 20, he's eating me out of a house and home when he is here. But I wouldn't have my family any other way without Tarek. Anyway guys, I just thought I'd share that. It is a personal thing for me to share. I hope somebody has learned something, not just learning why I'm called Mummy T, and not just learning that I have 3 sons, but I hope, jokes apart, we can learn that in life, be open to adapting to situations. I don't know, there could be somebody out there right now is in a relationship and the other partner has a child, and you're not sure whether I should go forward or continue, or what will people say, or the stigma. So long as you're happy, so long as it works for you, and so long as you know all you need to know about that situation, don't worry what anybody has to say. Don't judge anyone's situation. Do you, and focus on you. That's basically all I'm trying to say is, and only you know what's right for you. I am a true believer there's only one judge, and that's the only judge that I'm comfortable enough to judge me. Anybody else, your opinion, that's your business. Anyway, I'm done here before we start getting all a bit emotional and that, but I will be doing a video with the big head Tarek so we can see it from his perspective. So look out for that very, very soon, hopefully. But until then, stay you, stay awesome, and stay peace, everyone. God bless.